All right, hello beautiful friends, welcome back to the channel. So today we have a project that we just need to take care of, and I wanted to bring you along because honestly, one of the single hardest herbs to grow on any homestead or in any garden is probably going to be rosemary, particularly if you are somebody who lives in the South. So I'm going to walk you through what I'm going to do because we have some winter damage left over on our rosemary here, and I want to show you how we're going to take care of it and hopefully keep this plant going for us all the way forward, because honestly this is some of the best rosemary, best tasting rosemary I guess I should say, that I've ever grown. So the last thing I want to do is lose this baby. So let me show you what we're looking at here, okay? Okay, for the most part you can see this rosemary has come back. It's looking big, it's looking beautiful, except for right here in the middle. You see all of this dead in here? So the problem with having the damage in the middle is simply this. When you have a bush or any type of plant such as this with damage in the middle of it, that is going to be a very vulnerable spot for several things. Number one, it's going to be vulnerable to bugs. Number two, it's going to be vulnerable to any type of diseases that tend to be in your area. For us, it's blight. I know that's not common in every area, but for us, that's a primary concern with what's going on here, which could end up killing the entire plant in about 24 hours. The third thing is, if I do nothing to this plant right now as it stands, when winter hits and we get all of that ice, it's going to hit the middle and it's definitely going to finish killing out the root, or the rest of the root ball, I should say. So we have a few options, and I'm going to walk you through them in case you're dealing with this situation yourself. So option number one, you can leave it and let the winter take it, or any pests or diseases that pop up, and just not worry about it and put your rosemary somewhere else. Option number two, you can go on ahead and take the plant out and divide the plant into multiple plants and put the strongest one back in the hole in this location, and then give the rest of it to family, friends, dry it, do whatever it is that you want to do with it. Option number three, you can pull it, you can divide it, and then you can put it in a pot and bring it in during the winter months when obviously the ice and the snow impact is going to be hitting a little bit harder. We are going to go with option number three here on our homestead. So I am going to be pulling this entire plant out. I'm going to be dividing it. I'm going to be putting a very large chunk in our pot here, and I'm going to walk you through what I do to the soil to get them to thrive. Now, honestly, when it comes to herbs like to be divided out. Okay, so she is 3 years old now. So technically this could just be her signaling to me that she wants to be maintained and cut back. The more you cut back on your herbs, the healthier your plant is going to be in the long run. So that being said, I really just don't want to lose this rosemary. So that's why we're going to go with the pot scenario, and then I'm going to divide it out and give it to family and friends who are interested in growing their own rosemary, because she is pretty well acclimated to our area at this point. So I might as well, share the love. All right, so let's go on ahead, stop the talking, and let's get to working. I think I'm going to put you on hyperlapse for this. It might be the easiest for you to see everything. But first step is to dig her out, and then the second step is to begin dividing the root ball, and I will pop on here and show you exactly how I do that so that you can see how it's done and you can do it to your herbs. And then the third is going to be actually planting it in the pot, which is going to involve really bad soil and rock, because they do not like good soil, guys. So if you put your rosemary in good soil, it's going to die. I don't know why. It's just the plant. All right, let's dig this. Now that I've got this divided, I'm just going to kind of come in here And I'm gonna chop out some of these dead limbs just so I can see. All right, that's a little bit better. Okay, so get these weeds out of here. Old fabric. All right, now as you can see, this is our root system here. And this section here, right here, is the one that has died. So, since we've already got this natural break right here, I think I'm just gonna roll with that break, honestly, and split it in half right here, like so, because you see it's, if you look, see that? It was already pretty much trying to do that to itself. All right, so now here is one plant section. As you can see, there's some dead on here. I'm just gonna cut it off down at the base as close as I can. Let's see, not all of that is dead though. So we're just going in and cleaning up. All right, so there we have our first rosemary section. I could technically root this guy here if I so wanted, because it's got its own root system right here, as you can see. So I'll just leave that right there, and I'm just going to kind of go through this with the breaks. This one's a real strong section here. And let me shove this forward. Our gator full of soil. Macy, which for some reason Macy insists on barking at my gator. I don't know why. Now, let me show you this. So this is just really raw topsoil, and I actually put some pea gravel in there because, as I said at the beginning, rosemary really doesn't like good soil. It needs well draining soil, and they don't like to have their feet wet a lot. But generally speaking, they prefer really, really poor soil. So if you've ever struggled growing rosemary in a pot or in a raised bed, try and give it some really bad soil. Same can be said of lavender, actually. So do the exact same thing with your lavender and see if that gives you a little bit of improvement, and then add the gravel in to help with drainage, because like I said, they don't like to have their feet wet, and that gravel will help that aspect of it. All right, there we go. Now let me go and get the rosemary plant. All right, so I think I'm going to go with this cutting here, and I'm going to I think I got a little bit too much soil in here at the moment. So I'm going to take a little bit out. Now, once I get this in, I am, by the way, going to be watering it in, because we have just done something that is slightly traumatic to the plant. So I do want to make sure and water this in really well, and I am going to add just a couple of shovels full of a slightly enriched topsoil. So nothing real nutrient dense, but I just want to add a little bit in. Like I said, not a lot, because they like really, really bad soil, guys, okay? So we're not going to go heavy on it. Okay, so I'm going to add this in, and this is just to help break up and keep the heavy clay of this other topsoil in check. That's pretty much all it's there for, is that, like I said, I want to make sure that I've got really great drainage going on here. All right, beautiful friends, that's all that she wrote for this video. If you have any questions or thoughts, suggestions on growing rosemary, go on ahead and drop them in the comments below. As you can see, I've watered it in, kind of placed it, so I'm just gonna let her sit there. Now, at the end of this video, if you want to learn a little bit more about growing herbs, I'm going to include a video at the end of this one so that you can learn a little bit more about herb growing. And don't forget, I am currently doing one-on-one garden coaching, so if you are interested in learning to grow for your space, go on ahead and reach out. I'll have a direct link down below in the description box so that you can book your one-on-one garden coaching session with me. As always, guys, keep it simple, natural, and essential. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.